Hey there, welcome back. So like many of you, I have been walking around this week in a little bit of a daze because it's just so hard to wrap my head around the fact that as of August 7th, we've lived through more mass shootings than we have days this year. 255 in only 217 days. That is just crazy to me. But if you think this nugget is about espousing my views on gun control, gun rights, let me stop you right there. It's not about that. It's about this numbness that we've developed, not because we don't care or because we've given up, but it's more of a psychological phenomenon called psychic numbing. And the psychological definition of psychic numbing is the diminishing or psychological or emotional response to a frequently repeated stimulus characterized by decreased responsiveness to a feeling of detachment and a reduction in the ability to acknowledge and express emotions. And all that means is that the emotional magnitude of something bad, anything bad, mass shootings, natural disasters, war casualties, race riots, bigotry, lying politicians, whatever that adverse stimuli is, it decreases over time with constant exposure to the point that it becomes unnoticeable. It's an unconscious cognitive defense mechanism, and we all do it. Let me give you a really good example. Do you remember the shock and the horror and the outrage you felt when you learned that 13 kids died just because they showed up at Columbine High School one day in 1999? Or the 20 kids and 6 adults that were killed at Sandy Hook Elementary School in 2012. That news brought most of us to a standstill, right? Fast forward to today. This year, there were 7 mass shootings that resulted in 57 deaths and 72 people wounded. Can you even name them all? Do you feel the same level of emotional intensity? It's not your fault, though. Logic would tender that if we believe every human life has an equal value, then the value of protecting lives should increase in a straight line like this. Larger losses of lives would be valued more. But research tells us that the biggest change in value occurs with the first life going from 0 to 1. And after that, as the losses of lives increase, psychic numbing begins to desensitize us. And as the number of lives in danger increases, so does our feeling of helplessness. You know, that what can I do feeling? And as a result, our level of compassion also decreases. One study found we see this result when the number of people in danger increases from just 1 person to 2. Participants were asked how positive they felt about helping a child in need and how willing they were to help that child in need. When the number of victims in the experiment rose from 1 to 2, the researchers recorded a decrease in empathy for the kids as well as smaller donations to them. 1 more child, that was all it took. And it doesn't just impact us individually. Psychic numbing has evolved as a societal phenomenon. So, how can you overcome it? Well, let me give you one real-life example. I work with foster kids, and on any given day, there are almost 500,000 kids in foster care in this country. And that number is overwhelming. Now, I can't do anything to make a difference for 500,000 kids. But I can do something to make a difference for 1 child in foster care. And that 1 kid may be all I need to keep from getting numb. If you want to learn more about psychic numbing and how to overcome it, check out my recent article. I'll add the link below. And if you want to learn more about how the brain works and how to make it work better, check out my book, Happier Hour with Einstein, and the full-color companion gratitude journal available now on Amazon.